So, hi everyone, and welcome to our very special session dedicated to a big anniversary of Neurographica. Today is 10 years since Neurographica was invented by Pavel Piskarov. So, Pavel was flying over the Jerusalem, and the word Neurographica came to him in the sky. It's a very cool story, I think, because it's just something romantic and special about it. And the birth of Neurographica happened in the sky. So I am Mora, also Anna Morali, and I am certified neurographic instructor. I'm bilingual, and I learned directly from Pavel. I was qualified in 2022. And I've been running my neurographica school for over 2 years now. So you are in good hands. I've got lots of experience and I take my information directly from the source. And today we are going to participate in a very simple practice, gratitude practice, as a thank you practice, something that you can do daily. So the essence of the drawing will be very simple. And it's for a reason that you can actually do it as often as possible, even every day or every night, whenever your routine is, and experience the benefits of the gratitude. I think everybody talks about gratitude these days and how important it is to say thank you. So that's what we're going to do together. You learn a simple practice and you can just use it for anything you want in your life following this workshop. So, and after the workshop, I have a list of questions that I'm hoping to answer a few of them. Or I might be able to answer some of the questions that come through directly in the chat or on camera. So if you have questions about Neurographica, this is your chance to get your answer today live. I'm planning to run this session for an hour and a half, so I need to really finish at 5:30. So please don't let me to stay too long because I love what I do and I can be with you for hours. For people who've been with me, they know that my sessions are always slightly longer than I say that will be, because I always want to speak to everybody and make sure that everybody understood everything and just like to have a general chat at the end. So today I have just other commitments and I've got children at home. I'm hoping that we can do everything in 1 hour and a half. So that's why the priorities are there. We're going to do the drawing first, so you get the value, the biggest value of the workshop today from the drawing. Then I give you the discount code for the workshops. I've made an offer that every workshop that I have, it will cost £10, so you get £15 off. So if there has been a workshop that you really wanted to take with me for a while, then today and kind of for the rest of the week will be a good chance to purchase that workshop for £10. And then I will also explain how to participate in a free giveaway, which is going to be like spreading the gratitude. And it would be very simple. It would be drawing the drawing that we're doing today, and then tagging me in your post, and just writing gratitude in that post. And that way we will spread gratitude across our social platform, and hopefully the gratitude will catch up and we'll do some good, and it will be our opportunity to say thank you to the world, maybe say thank you to the people. But that's kind of a very quick, very quick agenda for today. And without further ado, let's get our paper ready. I will be drawing today with the marker, and I will be coloring with highlighters. So I recommend you to do the same if you have, and I'll explain why. So you can take any color of the marker. I'm choosing purple today. That's a very spiritual color. I feel drawn today to the marker with a purple color, but you could choose any color. Black is always great. Black, you can never go wrong with black. But for those who are very new, please avoid drawing with gel pens. Please avoid drawing with metallic pens, with ball pens. So your best tool for drawing your graphical line is the marker. And the reason, because it's very easy to round, and when you apply color on top of the line of marker, the line doesn't disappear. So it's a lot harder to draw with a pencil, and it's a lot harder to draw with like liners and ball pens, etc. So let's get the markers ready to start that. If you're very new to it, my advice to you will be to do your best within what we do today, and then make sure that you take my free course. I have a free course that is called Neurographic Essentials, and you'll be able to learn all the basics. That includes neurographic line, and making sure that you're doing it correctly and you have the right skill set. So just remind me after the workshop to share that link for you to the free course that I have that covers all the basics, because today we are just going to draw. I'm not going to explain how to draw the line, etc. We're just going to go straight into the drawing. You just need any paper, really. You could have A4. This is A4 format. You could have half. And to be fair, if you want to make it a daily practice, probably a smaller paper would be absolutely fine to draw that. Or there is another way of doing it, and I'll show you in a moment, that we're gonna use a frame to make our page a little smaller, and the smaller page will take less time. And it's better to make a small gratitude practice than not do one at all, correct? So we are not going for perfection, and we're not going for the highest stars today. We are just making something that is doable, that is affordable, and that is simple for all of us. So first of all, let's tune in into our practice. You do that by placing your hand or both hands on top of your page. And let's focus your attention on the page. You can get a little bit attached to it, be gentle. This page is full of potential. It has a clean, new energy, the energy of renewal. I invite you right now just to close your eyes for a moment so we can just really get into the zone of where we are going to work with. Make sure that your feet are firmly on the ground. You take a deep breath and you focus on your fingers and your palms of your hands, and you can just press it gently against the page, just focusing on the sensation of the paper underneath your fingertips, just noticing if it's a smooth paper or maybe it has some texture underneath it. Notice the temperature of the page. Is it cool? Is it warm? Just kind of explore the edge of the paper, how big is your notebook, or is it a single sheet? Find the edges, see if you have like a little binding as well, and what kind is it. Mine is like a spiral, yours might be just a glue strip. Just explore your page, get to know the surface that you are working with. And now you have all the focus on the sheet. I want you to see a beautiful blue sky in front of your eyes. It's the gorgeous day at the moment. The sky is blue. You could feel the warm sunshine on your face. It's inviting, it's kind, and I want you to start noticing little clouds. And the big clouds, the fluffy ones, the white ones, starting to gently float across the sky. And each cloud has a big thank you on it written in puffy letters. Have a look at those clouds now a bit closer. Have a look what colors are those letters on the clouds. Each of them is different shape, but each of them says thank you. And I want you now to imagine that you can just stretch your hand and grab one of those clouds. And let's do that with the first one. Pick the cloud that you like the most with the word thank you. And like grab it with your hand from the sky. And then now you can just turn it around. It's right in your palm. And there will be something written at the back of it. So have a look, what is it say? What thank you to what? So my cloud says, thank you for the sky. So I'm grabbing another cloud with a thank you on it and turn it around and looking what's the other cloud says thank you for. Okay, you're doing that hopefully, grabbing a couple of a cloud one at the time, turn it around and looking on the other side of it. What is it that are you grateful for? What are you saying thank you for? Maybe it's for your health, maybe it's for your partner, maybe it's for your kids, maybe it just thank you for being alive. Let's spend there just a little longer, taking those clouds, turning them around and having a look. What is it underneath each thank you? You now should have probably a bunch of them. And hopefully you've been putting them in your pockets, in your big, big pockets, collecting those little clouds with thank you. And you can look in your pockets now and they're full of those clouds. And they make you feel a bit lighter. It's almost like if you get enough of those clouds in your pocket, you'll be able to lift off enjoying them in the sky. So it's quite a nice, freeing, elevating sensation, grabbing those clouds, putting them in the pocket, feeling lighter every time you do so. Now we have enough clouds to make us float. Let's return to our room. Get your attention back into your fingertips. Check out that surface underneath. Again, is it textured? Is it smooth? And let's open our eyes gently and return ourselves to the room. So we're now prepared to work with our gratitude. And what we're going to do is a very, very simple practice. We are going to say thank you today because it's 10 years of Neurographica, I'm going to go and say thank you to 10 different thank yous because that's what we are doing today, okay? And we do that by drawing circles first. So I'm first of all going to say thank you to Neurographica. And if you've been drawing Neurographica for a while and you already have something to be grateful for, then you can also dedicate this practice purely to Neurographica. Forgot to mention, you can do this. So I'm going to actually make my drawing slightly smaller by creating a frame. So you can do that when you don't want to use the whole page. And the frame can be any shape. So I made it almost square, but I didn't want to make it perfect. So I kind of made it a bit more wonky like that. And I'm just going to imagine that this is the whole frame that I'm working with. And this is my first thank you. And it's up to you at this point. You can label each of the circles. And I think I will be because I quite like to know which one is which. And it turns out that because I'm dedicating all my thank yous to Neurographica, And the rest of them are going to be just what happened with me thanks to neurographica. Neurographica is going to be in the center. So I'm going to write it down, neurographica. You can work on the same. Maybe you are thankful to neurographica. Maybe you also change your life through this method. Or you can just be doing your thank yous to the things that you've seen in the sky and the clouds. And you can use this as a general thank you practice. What? I'm going to continue in a second. Okay, excellent. So, neurographic and what I'm grateful for. So, first of all, I think I'm just extremely grateful for that for the first time in my life, I have a passion. I'm very passionate about what I do, but I'm very passionate about teaching, very passionate about neurographica. And until then, I actually didn't have a passion. I worked so many different jobs before. I was good at every job I did, but I was never passionate about it. And I was never felt like I had a purpose or call in life or anything like that. So to my surprise, when I discovered neurographica and started teaching it, I realized that this is my passion. And actually, I remember that as a little girl, my dream was to become a teacher. Obviously, at that point, I didn't dream to be an art teacher or neurographica didn't even exist back then. I just wanted to be a teacher. And that kind of, I actually did qualify as an English teacher many moons ago. So I kind of made that dream come true to the point. I even worked at school for a short while, but then I abandoned the profession because I just couldn't handle I couldn't handle a lot of kids in the class. I was very young and I was too kind and they were too loud. So I left the education. But I'm just so grateful that Neurographica returned me into that profession in a way, because actually I find it incredibly rewarding to teach people. So I thank you, Neurographica, for bringing passion into my life. I thank you, Neurographica, for making my life so full that I no longer need any alcohol in my life or any kind of anything that alters my presence, or because I was just like everybody else. Well, most people, I was having a drink at the weekend, having a drink celebrations, sometimes when I was stressed. So it was, I guess, part of coping mechanism, part of escapism, part of the social convention. But it'll be 2 years in August since I've been sober by choice. Just one day, I realized that on the 8th of August, I just realized that it no longer serves me. It wasn't something that I was working towards or had a name to do, but it just naturally happened. I just sat there and it was actually after a night out or something like that. And I just sat there and I just had this big realization that this no longer serves me. I don't get any joy of it. And I can go my life for the rest of my life without ever drinking anything ever again. And so far, I didn't. I have no desire. And I've learned to cope with my emotions, the stress of life, difficult situations by drawing. So maybe 3 years ago, I would get a glass of wine or two, or go out with a friend on a wild night out to cope with the situation, with the stress. But now I just sit down and I draw a catharsis, let go of anything difficult through neurographic process. Thank you, Joanne. That you're proud of me. But it was one of those unexpected side effects of neurographica. That's something. There's a lot of things that I work towards, specifically, and I'm very grateful that I have my own online school. Again, that's only because of neurographica, because that's all I do right now, and thanks to neurographic, I was able to leave my day job as a fraud analyst and starting to coach, teach, run courses, memberships, and do all sorts of creative things. So again, that wouldn't have happened, and it helped me to remove fears, because the scariest thing about the whole process of getting self-employed, it was to leave the paid job, because I've always been in a paid job. I worked since I was 16. My mum always had a job, and it was one of the biggest and most uncomfortable things that I had to do in the past like sort of 2 years, is to hand in my notice, knowing that I don't have a guaranteed income. So very thankful that Neurographica helps me to work with my fears, to overcome my fears, and so therefore I have a school because of that. I'm grateful that I met so many fantastic people. Like, look at all of us today. We're here. Oh, 20 of us now. I haven't looked for a while. Hello, everybody who joined a little bit later. So I'm so grateful for all the people. My school is international, and I've made friends. I've met people from Europe, from America, from Canada. I've got people from India, Hong Kong, you name it. I think, every country. And I absolutely love being a part of the community and being, I guess, that little beacon, a point where people come in and meeting. We meet in the group, we meet through those live classes, and I find that's absolutely incredible with the power of the internet, that we can just connect across the globe, as simple as just pressing one button on the link as a Zoom, and you just like, yeah, you're all there, and we make new friends. And I know for a fact that other people make friends and acquaintances, and it's good to see other people's journeys as well. So I met an incredible amount of people. So I'm very thankful to the people that I met, and thankful that, again, without the Neurographica, I would never done that. It just there wouldn't be a purpose for me to go and meet new people on the internet. And now I feel like it's a line, because people come and join my group, and then I meet them. So it's amazing. I'm very grateful for, well, for all the knowledge that I received. And it's not just the knowledge of Neurographica, because it's all started as a free webinar, maybe similar to what you're on today. It just caught my eye. I came to draw for free. I did the first drawing, and then by the second drawing, I was completely in love with Neurographica, and I started to plan how I'm going to open my school, and I took the first course, paid course. I did the basic user, then I did the specialist, and then eventually I completed the instructor course. Knowledge. Thank you for the knowledge. And After that, as soon as I completed the instructor course, I was given an opportunity to join a local university and also complete master's degree for free because I was in the right place at the right time and I got funding for it. Again, it's something that I didn't even dare to dream. I mean, who dreams about free masters? Because I didn't even know there was such thing that you can get a master's for free in England. Because when I've looked at universities a few times and that was never an option, at least not an option for me. So, knowledge, and I'm gonna say thank you for the like synchronicity that it really allows me constantly be in the right time at the right place. The best example is like trying to write a book here, thinking I need to write a book, and then all of a sudden I start meeting all the people that are book related, authors, editors, other writers, publishers, and I always get so it's always mind blowing when it happens. So I'm gonna put Syn synchronicity. I don't know how to spell that, but it doesn't matter if you spell it right or wrong, as long as you know what you're drawing. So let's have a look how much we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Um, I'll do 3 more because we're celebrating 10 years, and I think like I need to do at least 10 thank yous to the method. And I am grateful and really thankful that I was able to run a retreat, 2 retreats so far, and the third one is coming in Northern Ireland. Again, because I'm facilitating Neurographica, I get invitations to run retreats, and they're very special events. I don't know if you've ever been to a retreat before, but I just recommend to go on a retreat. It's such a beautiful vibe. You get to do so many spiritual things. So much time is dedicated to self-care. So retreats I'm grateful for to be able to do that. So that was like that was one of my dreams when I started doing the school, and I thought, it would be so cool to do a retreat, but I didn't know where to start because A, I've never even been on one myself, and B, it just yeah, it was scary, really, really scary. So hopefully, you are getting plenty of gratitude in your drawing. While I'm thinking of 2 more, in the chat, please kindly do speak with me and share maybe a couple of things that you are thankful for today. What are you saying you thank you to? To who or to what? Please do share in the chat. See what if we have very similar things. For those who maybe joined a bit later, this is just a general gratitude practice, and you could do it anywhere daily. It doesn't have to be specific to neurographic. Obviously, it's my theme today because today is a special day. But maybe you're grateful for your parents, for your children, for your life. What are you saying thank you for today? Please do let me know. Life, people, sunlight, growth, movements. Ah, that's beautiful. Okay. Anybody else wants to share? Oh, yeah, it's coming now. Family, friends, my dog, my car, nature, learning things, creativity, new friends. Yes, yes to new friends. I am actually going to kind of take an inspiration, and over here I'm going to put creativity. I'm thankful for the people I met today from over 20 years ago. I saw them last. Okay. Grateful for my intuition and guidance, heritage, connection, nature, and trust. Mother Nature, finding your graphica. Excellent. So keep adding those circles. I wouldn't do more than 10 10 is actually quite a good number for the gratitude journaling. When if you journal, some of you probably already do journaling practice. So they do say write like 10 things that you're grateful for daily. So we can do that for Neurographica, but we are drawing circles to do the practice. So I'm gonna add creativity as well. And you can either label your circles when you do neurographic practice, or you could just keep them flowing, just saying them out loud, creativity, knowledge, passion, and so on, and then just keep adding them and thinking that inside of you, think every very important process when you do the gratitude practice, whether that's through neurographica or you journaling, is that make sure that the words that you're writing, the gratitude, the thank yous that you're creating are not just an exercise for the sake of exercise. You're writing it, but you're not feeling it. So I want you to experience that connection with the heart. So you actually saying a heartfelt thank you. You're smiling inside and outside when you think about those wonderful, majestic, and positive events in your life. So I'm gonna do one more, and I'm gonna catch up on the chat. But when I do this one more, I want to zone in onto that one just to demonstrate how you do that connection. And we also talk in Eurographica a lot about reflection. And reflection is that moment where you hyper focused on the way that you feel in the moment. So it's that your practice to be present in the moment. And when you're present in the moment, you are able to connect with yourself at the greater depth. You are able to notice everything that is going on within you. How's your body feeling? How's your emotions? What kind of thoughts you're having? So all of that can be achieved from Neurographica. So I'm gonna draw like last circle, which is number 10. And I draw it and it's like taking a big deep breath, and I draw it and release it. Okay. And I'm grateful for all the spiritual experiences. And I'm not just saying spiritual experiences or thinking spiritual experiences. When I place this circle into my drawing, when I start rounding the corners and connecting this, I feel this in my heart, and I'm saying thank you. Thank you for all the spiritual experiences that I had. Honestly, I'm quite a earthy, grounded person, and yet my world, the perception has been opened so much. I had experience with spiritual animals, with all sorts of signs, with strange sensations, with like feeling the presence of other spirits, and meeting the people also who are very spiritual, that heal with hands. And I've seen visions of other people's spiritual animals. So I've never had that experience in my life, and I'm very grateful. So every time I add one of those gratitudes or one of those things just on the page, I'm trying to connect that deeply within myself. I'm not just like stating grateful for my life, grateful for my house, grateful. There's no rush as well. Like do it at the speed where you're able to actually fully appreciate each moment that you add into the page. Let me just have in a quick look what else we have in the chat. So thank you for the docs at Mayo Clinic who are taking good care of my daughter. Wonderful. Being put in touch with my local branch of Mind Mental Health Charity in the UK. Lovely. All the way I'm processing emotions, poetry, ritual ceremonies, art, poetry, grief group. Wonderful. And of course, neurographic and Nora. Oh, thank you. To you for this amazing session, life for all the beautiful blessings, family art, writing, all the modalities to connect the energy, much, much more. Blessed to meet you right the day after we connected through mail. Lovely. Thank you so much for everybody who also expressed gratitude to me. I receive it. I receive it with all my heart. So thank you. And that's another thing. When people are grateful to you, it can be hard to receive it. I have been really terrible at receiving compliments. Compliments used to make me very, very uncomfortable. I didn't know how to react. I was like, oh, do I need to say something nice back? was I was so awkward about compliments. You wouldn't even believe how awkward I was about that. And while I'm just telling you the story, let's start adding just a few lines from the center of your drawing outwards. This is your way to say, I am thankful from the bottom of my heart. Let's imagine that this is the center of you. This is the center of your heart, the center of your soul. And you spreading this gratitude, your thank yous everywhere, around yourself, around the world, around other people. See, because I'm using the little frame, I don't have to fill in the whole page. So I'm just working within this little parameter. And once you've added all these lines, make sure you go in and round all the corners. Rounding brings you balance and peace and connection. So what I was saying about the accepting compliments and accepting other people's gratitude, because sometimes it's easier to give it out than to receive. And if you're struggling to receive people's gratitude, kind of note it, because it's actually also very, very important to work on that. Because if you can't receive other people's gratitude, thank yous, whether that is compliment, or when maybe you help somebody and people giving you a gift, or just a hug or something pleasant and nice, and we reject it because we weren't taught how to do that. Sometimes it's just a family thing. Another reason why you might be struggling to receive it is because your inside don't feel like you deserve it, and that's quite often is the case. I never felt like I deserve it, so I found it very difficult to accept, because if we don't feel like we're worthy, then we can't accept the gratitude. But it's very important to work on both, not just giving the gratitude, and that's what we're doing today, but also accepting the gratitude with your full heart, and saying just, oh, nice, thank you. That's very nice of you to mention. Oh, you look lovely today. Oh, thank you very much. You made my day. I actually have, a set to kind of learn how to accept compliments. I had like memorized a few phrases that just so I don't have to think on the spot what to do in a situation. So I just started just, oh, thank you very much. You made my day. And I had just this phrase memorized, so I don't feel awkward if somebody compliments me when I don't expect it. Because it's like, oh no, no, when you give a compliment to somebody or say thank you, it's like, oh no, no, I really don't look that great today. No, this dress, oh no, it's an old one. Oh, it's not even my dress. I borrowed it. Oh, it can be very painful, but I must admit that I'm much better at accepting this kind of energy as well. And if you start accepting it from other people, it means that universal energy will give you more. If you're accepting help, you're accepting kindness, you say yes to it, universe seeing it, I was like, oh, okay, she likes it. She accepts it with pleasure. So I'm gonna give more of that, and more things are gonna come your way. So make sure that you do both, give and receive with full heart, and don't be shy about receiving credit when it's due. And it's also nice for another person who give you a compliment, because they acknowledge your energy. And that's what it is. You acknowledge other person's energy, you acknowledge their kindness. And that's important, isn't it? Acknowledging somebody's kindness, acknowledging how they express themselves, how they see the situation. Thank you. And feels so wonderful. Maybe just one more line, and I'm happy to start introducing color into my work. So we've got all the beautiful gratitude bubbles in there, and now we're going to start coloring. And that's why I've prepared highlighters again. If you want it to be a daily practice and you don't want to be spending hours on end coloring with pencils, getting, I don't know, your whatever you color with pencils. A lot of people color with paint, but I just would like to say that paint is not really a neurographic tool. If you do neuro art, yes, obviously everything you can use paint and all sorts of other materials, because it's different if you're creating picture as an art form. But if you're working on your intention and you want a very good result, it's good to use something with a hard tip, like highlighter, because it's the pressure against the paper makes the difference. The small movement that you make through applying this color. And it's also very quick, so perfect for daily practice. You just get the highlighters and start applying color. Just apply color intuitively and use the happy colors, because if you're grateful, think what kind of color is your gratitude today. And another important rule is that you always color over the lines. When you color over the lines like this, you're overcoming difficulties in your brain, and you're also creating connection, because everything that you connect like this with a color becomes an important message for your higher self. One more rule: when we apply color, we don't make anything singular. So we don't do like that, because then you kind of separate this tiny little piece from the rest of the picture, and it's lonely. Don't make your picture lonely. Don't make any part of your mind lonely. So you need at least two together. Make sure that they're friends, that you connect them through the line, and this is absolutely fine. I quite like using the flow when I color, so not necessarily just go in and color each individual circle separately, but applying color in those sort of little rivers of color, allowing the color to flow and spill. It has that then a bit of energy of movement in itself, and it feels like they're communicating with each other. So add the colors that elevate your gratitude practice, your thank you. Maybe you feel like if you're maybe thinking about nature today, you might be drawn more to greenish colors, and if you're more thankful for like maternal or female energy, you might have more pinks in your picture. At the very basic level of neurographic, or when you don't learn any specific color system, like for example, neurocolor, is based on the 5 Chinese elements, and Neuromandala is taking the colors of chakras. When you draw mandalas, every chakra has the color, and you use that color system. But at the basic level like this, and you're just doing a gratitude practice, just use your intuition and your association. You know, what blue means to you, what pink means to you, what kind of energy does it give you when you apply color. So I'm happy with the way the colors are. The pink color turned out to be my personal color. It's strange. I've never really particularly loved pink as such, but when I draw Neurographica, pink is always the color that I feel it's connected to my inner energy. And if when you draw Neurographica for a while, you probably find that there is a specific color that somehow represents your essence, your personal energy. So for me, it's always been this kind of very bright fuchsy pink. What I'm doing right now, I'm trying to create, for some reason I'm struggling, I'm trying to create what called field lines. These are the lines that go through the whole drawing. I want to create one so you could see it, and then I'm gonna get a bit more explanation done to what it represents and why we want to add those field lines. So can you see now that it's a very, very powerful line? Neurographical line, it goes like this through the whole page. It can go in any direction, doesn't have to go from the top to the bottom. It can go diagonally, it can go across, it can go any way you want. It can there can be several of those lines in the picture, but imagine that this particular line is the line that helps you to tap into the source of abundance. So with the gratitude practice, this is literally the energy that we are trying to create, the energy of abundance, the energy of love and prosperity. You know, that feeling that everything that you have is plentiful, and you feel abundance, not scarcity, that you feel so happy. And this is that energy. And when you draw this line, you can use it as a prayer and another way of say connecting to the higher powers, to maybe just one more time to say really thank you for so many blessings in my life. Thank you for 10 wonderful blessings in my life that I have today. So these lines are powerful. They're like rivers. They stand out. You should be able to, if you like close your eyes and open them, these are the first lines that you're going to see in your drawing. You don't need too many of them. A couple for drawing. Sometimes you need 3, sometimes 4, sometimes 2. Again, this is completely intuitive work, and you just judge the way you want it to appear. And another thing is that when you create those lines, you kind of giving that's your opportunity to surrender and trust that universe, that God will guide you, that you know, support you in your life. And no matter how hard the life might be right now, that there will be a solution and that there is a bigger plan for you. You just don't know it yet. when I use highlighter, the sharpest smudges, that's good. Because smudges can be very beautiful. I mean, this particular work is not smudging, but I quite like when it smudges. Look at it as a art experiment and think, oh, how interesting. My marker smudged today. And look at the shade that it's created. Isn't that fantastic? So once you've done the connection with the absolute energy with this beautiful big field lines, also what they do, they help you to create this like a three-dimensional plane. So instead of all lines being the same size, you can now see that some lines are bigger than the others, and it makes it like a forefront. You know, the things that are closer to you, they seem to be bigger. And some lines are smaller, then they're more in the background, and that creates that beautiful composition in for your mind. And you say, oh, my picture's really beautiful. The lines are popping out. And a lot of that is because some lines are bigger, some lines are smaller, and we are playing with our mind, creating those different dimensions to create that beautiful sensation inside us, because it's all about how you feel about the drawing. But if you make it beautiful to you, and you could do that by adding lines at a different thickness, then the drawing itself will be more effective, and the new connections in your brain will form faster because the impression is stronger. Right, so we've done that. Now is the time to find something that is the most important in your drawing. You have a few options. You can kind of highlight everything that you have. We have this like very big cluster of gratitude, and or you could maybe find a centerpiece, the most important part in your drawing which you want to highlight, that seems to be the most important thing. And although everything started with the neurographic center, and it is the center of my picture, and it's one of the big and important circles on this particular drawing, I think I'm still drawn to this particular one, which has people in it, because people the most important to me in this scenario. And I tell you why, not because it's like, oh, you know, I've got business and, you know, I need people for it. No, but because through people, I learn. People ask me questions. When people ask me questions, I get chance to think about the answers. People challenge me. I've had some very uncomfortable situations through neurographic, including, you know, where, you know, people misunderstood me, or I did something unprofessional or wrong. I've made many mistakes. Don't get me wrong, I have made plenty of mistakes. But if there are no people, you wouldn't know that you have done the mistake. So I find that it was the biggest challenge and the biggest reward is working with people, because every time I work with people, people teach me, and I learn from other people, because everybody's so different. Everybody's brain works different, learning style is different. And even if I run the same course, people ask different questions every time. And I find that so fascinating. But then at the same time, we're so connected and similar. Everybody gets stressed. Everybody struggles with procrastination. Everybody experiences anxiety in their life. Everybody's looking to improve their situation, and they do the best they can. And it's humbling to know that you are, from one end, very unique, but from another end, just so the same as all the other people, that the problem that we live and experience are universal, no matter what country you come from. Everybody knows how the sadness feels. No matter what country you're from, you can experience a loss of the loved ones or break up in a relationship or, scarcity mindset or lack of money and financial abundance. So we all able to relate and understand each other. So that would be my fixing. You could see that that particular figure now stands out the most in my picture. And once you choose that figure, make sure that the line around it is big and thick because you want it to stand out. You want it to be powerful again, and you want it to unmistakably say that, yeah, this is the main figure on my drawing. And make sure that you go and integrate it with the rest of the drawing and go and make sure that all the new corners, because as you get put additional layers of a marker, you will create new corners. So make sure that you go in twice around the circle, inside and outside, and you make sure that every corner, every connection is integrated and completed. Can you add another circle, or is it best to keep it to original 10? As an affixing, I suppose you could add another circle. The general rule in neurographic is that we tend to work with up to 9 figures on the page. The reason that we're doing 10 today, and I guess the 11 might be as well, has a place to be, is that we're doing it as a cluster, and it's all to do with the gratitude. So for our brain, actually, all of it is one figure. This is a thank you practice. All of it is a thank you practice, and it's a container, and within the container, there are little balls. So we can cope with this amount of information and gratitude. So as long as it's like together, Laura, you should be okay. And you can add another circle if you maybe want to add like a overpowering gratitude circle that connects everything else. Well, with this, you see the practice is complete. And we spend less than an hour, and lots of it I was talking. If you were drawing that by yourself, probably take you 30 minutes on a small paper to finish everything. And we're gonna go and just to summarize this exercise, we're gonna do some quick writing. I'm just gonna use the back of the page to a save paper and two to kind of keep it all together. I like to put the date of the drawing so that if I have a look back, I know what it is. And I would like to kind of say, oh, thank you. I'm gonna set a 1-minute timer today. Just all I want you, just for 1 minute, write the words or phrases, sentences that you have now in your mind and in your heart in relation to your drawing. Maybe there are more gratitudes that come to surface. Maybe there are going to be some ideas or some insights from your work. So let's just do that for 1 minute. Get your pen and let's do that together. It starts now. Okay, now that's a minute is done. Thank you. Just have a look what you've written so far, maybe something new to you. I just had like, because well, I mean, we've done it for an hour and I've really enjoyed it. You know, we've done a good practice. I was like, yeah, I need to do more of these simple tutorials. Life should be simple. This doesn't need to be hard. I don't need to plan an event 3 weeks in advance. This works. I've got 20 people on the call. Everybody's happy. We're doing a quick drawing. I did, sent one email and did two posts on Facebook, and I'm happy with the results. And it's like, yeah, make it simple. And then just some other things like thankful for the energy today in the group. I really feel like your connection, loving the vibes that we have right now, and grateful to all of the participants. Um, got a comment that was nice to meet you. Thank you so much for this free class. Very happy with just have to go now. See you around in the corner. See you around the corner. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go back. We've got still about 20 minutes together to spend. I'm gonna go back in my camera. Let me do that. Okay, hey, hello. I'm all rosy cheeks. Just check in with yourself as well, how you feel after this session. What kind of sensations that you have? What is it that maybe you've discovered or learned about yourself through the process. Most importantly, I just hope that you enjoy the practice and you feel very connected with yourself. While I'm just setting up and everybody's coming back, I'm going to. Oh, what else I've got? See, Alex saying thank you, Laura saying grateful for a new insight about how I create my experience and my relationship with my partner. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Anna. So happy to be here and be part of it. Thank you. I accept all your compliments and gratitudes. Thank you very much. I promised to send a link. Maybe some of you have already done this course, but it's called Neurographic Essentials. I just posted it in the chat, so you can copy it and try it in a bit. It gives you the tutorial about the lines, and everything that you need to get started. So that's the free course that you can grab. I also wanted to share a link to the workshops that I have. I don't know why it's not working. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you my website, and then you'll find the courses and the workshops, and then you can have a £15 off. Neurographica, neuro. And nothing copying and pasting today, so I do apologize. Just bear with me a moment. Okay, so this is my website. When you go on the website, there'll be courses, and every individual workshop that is usually about £25. So I made it that you can have a £15 off and buy any workshop for £10. So this offer will be valid until the end of the week. So if you maybe had an eye on a workshop for a while, then you could go and get one that is less than half price. So that's a little small cheeky offer. Nothing is pasting in this weird scenario. I'm gonna try it again. For some reason, I'm not able to do that. I probably will send you an email as well just to duplicate this information because yeah, there you go. It happened. That's the coupon. In case you can't copy up from the chat. You're very welcome for the offer. I'm glad that you enjoyed the session. Again, I'm gonna just quickly explain about this gratitude marathon. It would be very simple, and again, I think I will make a post of it because it's a lot to remember. But you just take this drawing, um, take a photograph of it, and you make a post. You tag me in the post or neurographic or by Moonbow, and you will have an opportunity to be grateful in the post. You can just write whatever you draw in, so your 10 gratitudes. You can use that as opportunity to say thank you to people in your network. Maybe you're grateful to your friend, to your mom, to your partner, and you can tag them in a post and say, like, I've been drawing this and I was doing the gratitude practice, so thank you very much, and tag them in the post to express your gratitude. So have a play with it, and everybody who will share the post and tag me in will receive a free workshop. So everybody's a winner. Yeah, everybody's a winner. So as long as you participate. So I don't like to make it a competition anymore. I used to run competition, but then I've had some uncomfortable experiences in my life with gambling. Not I didn't gamble, but my ex-partner was a gambler, and now so I'm very sensitive to any sense of competition where do a draw and somebody wins and somebody doesn't, because I don't want to trigger anybody by accident when if people have tendencies to have that drive and they don't win. I don't want them to then trying to compensate the loss in some other way. So I try to now making like a little marathon. Everybody is a winner as long as you participate in. You post a picture, you tag me in, you can tag your friends, and then you get a free workshop. And that is the way that we can celebrate the neurographic birthday. The marathon will last for 10 days. So anytime within 10 days, you can post this drawing and share your gratitude with the world. Let's have a look. What is the timeline for when we need to post a photo and tag you? I'm thinking I'd like to repeat this gratitude process with another intention. Yeah, you've got 10 days. 10 days, 10 years, 10 days. So it makes it simple. So that would be that would be the rest of it, really. That's all I wanted to kind of announce. Big announcement. 10 £10 workshops and a free workshop when you complete the practice. So you buy one and you get one free. How's that? And I also wanted to cover, we have a few minutes, a couple of questions that people were asking in the beginner group. So I'm hoping that this is going to be helpful for all of you who's on the call or watching the recording. Well, one request was make a gratitude practice, something simple can be done daily. I think we can tick that off. Was that simple enough? And it wasn't time consuming either. So go ahead and you could do daily. I had a question about colors. I'd like to know more about how colors are used. So I answered this question, and then I'll take the questions from people who are live today. So there is, I guess, 4 ways of using colors in your Graphica. So the first one I explained is when you use your own intuition. So everybody who I guess have sight would have an association with the color just like by intuition. For some, like red, it might be for you that it's the color of energy, or it might be danger, it might be stop, or blue, it could be the sky, or you might feel a bit cold or sad with the blue color. So it depends on the individual perception. And then when you draw when you use color in neurographic, there are 2 ways of using it. The first way is you choose the color that will enhance your mood. So if you're working with a negative energy, for example, you are dealing with stress, argument, you had catharsis and you went into the theme very much rattled and at the low vibrations, then always use the color to lift yourself up. Whatever color makes you happy, yellow for sunshine, orange for action. Add the colors that are happy colors. Don't need to complicate life for yourself, and add the colors that represent your current state. It's not the, we're not trying to do a mood board. So if I feel black, then I'm gonna just like all I want to do is do that. There is a place for it as well, but probably it's somewhat a different practice. If you're working to elevate your mood, then you use the colors that you enhances your mood. If you are looking to release the energy, then you can use the colors that are in line with how you feel. And in that case, sometimes coloring the whole page in black can help you to release that particular emotion. And then next thing you do the drawing that elevates your state. So it's like kind of in stages. Then you could do color systems, I call them. So Neurographica has two color systems that are used within the module. So for example, the third module of Neurographica, Neurocolor, is based around 5 Chinese elements. So there are 5 dominant colors in the system. Each color is associated with elements. So for example, if you're working with fire, then it'll be red color. If you're working with earth elements, it will be yellow color. And then you using the colors in the drawing strategically. If you need the energy of fire in your drawing, you add red. If you need an energy of flow in your drawing, then you add black, because black is the color of water. If you need structure in your work, then you apply some colors of the metal, which is gray or rusty orange. And so that could be a color system that you apply with the knowledge of the 5 elements philosophy. So you can't really just apply it without knowing. That's why the course is there, teaches the philosophy, and then you know how to apply the color and you use that system in your work. The third system in Neurographica is based on chakras. So every chakra has a color. So your root chakra has a red color, your sacral chakra orange, your solar plexus is yellow, and so on. So every chakra has a color. And if you know chakra system, you can apply the colors in your drawing. So you could say like, oh, I feel a bit all over the place. I'd like to ground myself. So I'm going to use the red color, because red color is associated with my root chakra, and root chakra helps me to ground, and you apply that color through that. So when you go in like neuromandala course, then you draw mandalas, and mandalas has 7 levels, and each mandala would have all chakras inside it, because ultimately what we're looking for is to create a balance. And it's nice to align yourself from the beginning to the top, or from the top to the bottom, depending on what kind of mandala you're drawing. So that would be kind of the third official system in the Neurographica. What other people do as well, so people can have their own system based on other knowledge. So even the 5 Chinese elements is not the only color system. Japanese people have their own theory about the color. There is other modalities, and like art therapy as well. So they can use the colors that's within their toolbox. So there's nothing there against that knowledge. So if you have an additional knowledge in the color system that you applied before, either in the art, therapy, or even, I don't know, who was it that I remember there was a lady who was doing supervisions of my work as I was taking my basic user class. She kept referring to the system of, she was making those live dolls or something like to do with dolls, but apparently they also had meaning, each color would mean something on the doll, depending on what doll she's making. She'll then decide what color her dress is going to be, what color is her hair going to be, what kind of embellishments are going to be on the dress, and every kind of detail on the dress would have a meaning and the color system. So I just kind of, it's quite fascinating that you can make it your own. I think that answers the question with regards to color in sort of brief and general way. Does anybody else have questions? I mean, you feel free to pop on your microphone or just send it in the chat. Looking at the question from Laurie, can the coupon can be used in the neurocomposition? No, that coupon can't be used in the neurocomposition, but you will get 15% discount as my student because you've taken my basic course. And I think it's better. I think it's bigger. It's a bigger discount. Yes. So you can take, I'll give you the discounts and message me later and I'll give you your 15% as a current student. So you can take advantage of that. Yes, with regards to, it was on my list, Alex, about the music. Yes, glad you're here. So about listening to music, so it's a bit of I guess, controversial in the fact that nobody did any research. Okay, so if nobody did any research, nobody can say with any certainty whether or not music will affect. I think as a general rule, music affects us with neurographica or without, right? So if you listen into the upbeat music, you might want to like do a bit of dance. If you listen to something sad, or perhaps the song that reminded you of somebody or a time in your life, you might want to cry. So music is very powerful, full stop. So I say, taking away neurographic part, that music will make a difference what you listen. I think if you listen to the music that has no words and it's sort of background music, maybe it's that kind of meditative sort of thing that you put on during the meditation. I actually used music myself during certain workshops because it fits with a theme and sometimes it helps to set the mood. So if you're trying to get into that Zen mind and it's more of a meditation practice, gratitude practice, what we did today, I can't see why a bit of like good hang music, little drum at the background wouldn't be a nice addition to the experience, because it might actually help you to focus and even create a deeper work. I would probably steer away from doing things like watching TV at the same time, or kind of having something that is very influential with certain words, because even though we might not have pay a certain attention to the music, you don't know what will be tangled with your lines in the background. The way I see it, you kind of have that noise influence, and we have that anyway in the environment. Do you want to add, I don't know, UK people would know Coronation Street drama to your to your drawing, as you create a beautiful harmonious relationship, and there's a Coronation Street, which is like a big soap opera, and it's not something I watch, but I just know enough about it that you probably don't want that in your life. So I try not to have anything like that. It's like anything, if you start doing yoga with while you're watching a film, I think then the yoga practice will turn into really a stretching exercise, because you're not really connecting with your body or doing the pose. You're watching TV and you kind of standing there in the pose. So you will stretch, you will have some benefit to your body, but you won't experience a yoga practice in full because your focus will be split. So the same with neurographic. If you have something that is very loud music with like pop songs or rock songs, doesn't really matter the genre, or there is a TV in the background, then you're kind of only going to be present in your drawing for, percentage of the time. And you will get distracted and potentially tangled with what else is going on in the background. Does that, let's have a look what else I have. Is there a place the steps are written down, starts with a circle that represent what you are most thankful for? Is there a place the steps are written down that starts with a circle? I don't know if I understand the question, Brenda, if there is a place the steps are written down. Okay, like as in a flow of this algorithm?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
enough. That
Um,
was just to be an example. I'm sorry.
um, not for this particular drawing, but the whole neurographic method is actually based on 8 steps. So there are steps from like setting a theme, then you're doing the composition and you round. So there is a structure to every drawing. So that's why they all kind of in some way represent, similar patterns. Like this picture has circles, has field lines, has a fixing, has lines in the background. It's because we are following the process and the steps. Those steps usually you learn them properly when you take a basic user course, but the starter kit, my course, that is like a mini one that also has all the steps in there that gives you the understanding of the structure. Let's have a look.
Any place, I'm sorry, is there any place for the specific algorithms? So, for instance, this one, we're starting out with a circle, what we're most thankful for. Then we're adding additional circles. In each algorithm, we're not necessarily doing all of that to the extent here.
Um, so every drawing is different as how it starts. It's called your composition. So we'll tend to always set the theme what you're working for. So today we were doing the thank you or gratitude practice. Sometimes the drawing can start with a catharsis, so or release where you scribble, and that would be the beginning of your drawing. Sometimes like this practice we were doing yesterday in the class, and this was algorithm for revealing intentions, and the drawing actually started with lines. So we did the lines first, and then we did the circles, and then we did the rounding. Today we did the circles first. So depending on what you are drawing, the algorithms are very different. If you're drawing a neuro tree, you will start by creating the lines that shape the tree. And then you will be adding more lines to, represent the roots and the fruits of the tree and so on. But generally speaking, still every neurographic drawing is should, if you're using a method, follow the framework that was designed by Pavel. He has the framework, has steps, and there is a reason for those steps, because what happens, we move from our conscious operational mind. That's why we usually start by writing. Today I did a meditation. So again, that is just the twist on how the practice can be used. But usually we start on by writing a theme. You're activating your verbal and cognitive mind. And then you go into the practice, you start drawing and you start connecting with yourself at the deeper level, working with all your levels of consciousness, higher consciousness. Then you connecting with collective mind. So the reasons that step are there, that you can work with all the energies that are available. You work with personal energy first, always. Then you go into collective energy, so your ancestral energy, your environment, your society, and then you go up and you start connecting with the power of God, the universe, and so on. And then that kind of always building you up from the lower to the higher to achieve that beautiful state of connection with everything and everyone, and be in the most resourceful state where you are all aligned, all calm, and you are in the best place to make decisions. And that's when we do the resolution, when we place the fixing after we've done. Oh, look at that. Can I do that again? I keep doing these random things and there's a little effect. Sorry, I got distracted like a child. I hope that explains why the steps are there. Did I answer the question? It's quite a big question.
Yeah, no, it really didn't. In your answer, you actually gave a better example of my question. In one algorithm, we start with the lines first. In another algorithm, we start with the circles first. So the step might be think of this or think of that and draw your lines. And then the second step would be, okay, now think of, XYZ. So it's more the order, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yes. So because there's so many ways, the order can be slightly different and it also look different. But yes, the what you're describing, adding lines or circles, sometimes the squares, sometimes the flowers, it's called the composition. So it's called this composition step when we create something on the page that looks like we're going to work with it. So composition can be different, and there are, I don't know, hundreds of variations of the drawings. You could yeah, you could do it in so many different ways. There's some of them obviously are more known, like Neurotree or Neurolotus, where you can actually see the lotus on the page. Other things are less so known. Some people are creating their own algorithms, but we all try our best to follow a certain structure that we connect with ourselves, connect with collective, connect with God, and make the resolution at the end of it with a fixing. Let's have a look. I would love the discount for the composition course. Do you feel it is too early to start this level? Heidi, you can start it as soon as you finish the beginner. You've already done one session. I'd say do at least two. I mean, if you want to do them simultaneously, two sessions will be enough for you to get the skill to do the composition. But just focus on one course, just do it quicker, and then do the composition straight after. So that would be probably a better way rather than doing two at the same time. Lori saying, I listen to the binaural beats while doing neurographic sometimes. Yeah, that's I've heard that it has a very positive effect on our brain. So for those who doesn't know what binaural beats are, it's like it's better when you listen in headphones because it kind of alternates from what ear you hear the beats, so sometimes it's in the right side, sometimes it's on the left side, and it kind of alternates, and it sort of then get your brain engaged on both sides of the brain, gets engaged for that music. So actually can be very beneficial and soothing. Let's have a look. Judy, more about color introduction, colors of life, Saturday. Yes, introduction about colors will be also on Saturday, 11th May. That would be a free session. It's on my website and the calendar. You can just go and register, no problem. How does it work, Maura? Would it be good to start out with listening to alpha? Um, Not sure what the question is, Laura, there. Starting out with listening to alpha. What is alpha? It feels supportive and relaxing, like the energy in the container. Do you think it takes you to a place of deeper insights? Absolutely takes you to a place of deeper insights. We've got other suggestions for music, frequency music, alpha or theta. Okay. Yvonne saying thank you very much. She really enjoyed it. And I am going to go. It's 35 past. I'm 5 minutes late already. You're sitting all quietly, not reminding me that I need to go. Thank you very much for today. I will provide a recording. If you have more questions, please either post them in the group or send me an email. My email, I think everybody knows my email, but I'm going to post in the chat, info@neurographica.net. That is the email that you can use if you have any more questions. Perhaps I didn't answer all of them. Maybe I missed something in the chat. So please do send it to email, and I'll try to either email you back or cover it in the group. I would like to say, where is it? Happy birthday to Neurographica, 10 years, woohoo. And I am excited for the next 10 and very looking forward to see what else can be happening in the 10 years. It's been spreading like a wildfire. For the 10 years, it's just been amazing how far the method came from one country, and it became completely international. So thank you so much that you came and joined today live on such a short notice. I all appreciate you greatly and looking forward to seeing your wonderful drawings. Okay. Thank you very much again and again, and a very happy birthday to Neurographica. Yes. Send you lots of love. Go and enjoy your evening and keep practice that gratitude. Goodbye.